Hi, my name is Alexandra Jameson, and this video is for my Dev Bootcamp application. Um, I am 27 years old. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. Actually, I'm not from Salt Lake. I live in Salt Lake City, and I'm coming to you live from my front porch on this beautiful May Sunday afternoon with my iPhone, no less. So if there's a problem with production, it's on my iPhone. This is the only video equipment I own, and I'm giving it my best shot. And you said you wouldn't judge, so please don't judge. I'm trying. So I was thinking about your question, your big, open-ended, who are you, tell us more about yourself question, which is, this is a big question. But I kind of narrowed it down, and there's only really two things that I think most people need to know about me, and then that's kind of me, and, they can go from there. So the first thing you know about me, the first thing you need to know about me is I am a nerd. I am a Joss Whedon worshipping, pop culture loving nerd. And I am cool with it. I've accepted it, I've embraced it, I've run with it. And I really love things like Game of Thrones. I'm reading the books, I'm watching the series, which starts tonight later. It's very cool. I love Doctor Who, I love Battlestar Galactica. J.J. Abrams, he's working his way into my heart with the new Star Trek movies. He's doing a good job with that. So I love that kind of geeky, nerdy stuff. And I don't actually really consider it geeky or nerdy. It's just good. It's just really good, and if you don't like it, you should try it again. I'm one of those people that would go to Comic-Con. I haven't gone to Comic-Con. I'd like to go, but it's expensive. But I would go if the opportunity presented itself. And the other thing that you need to know about me is I am crafty. Crafty in the sense of knitting and crocheting and making things, not crafty in like a scrapbooking way, but more in a fiber art kind of way. I've recently learned how to spin my own yarn, and I am slowly destroying my kitchen with fiber reactive acid dyes. Super fun. I turn my hands wonderful colors, and I'm sure it's very healthy. That's what I really like to do. My favorite thing about knitting is actually when I finish a project and it's a gift for someone. I love to watch their face light up when I give it to them, or when someone comes up to me and says, that hat that you made me, I love that hat, it's my favorite hat. Or when there's a blanket that I've made for a 2-year-old and he has it and he's 7 and it's all loved to death. I think there's a bigger compliment to be had, and when someone comes up to you and just really can appreciate your work and what you love to do. So with that in mind, I'm going to take you with me. We're going to go to my knitting store, and I'm going to teach you how to knit. Okay, so this is all we need to knit here. We've got 2 sticks and some string. We have some really cool variegated yarn from Oregon. This is hand dyed by the lovely people at Blue Moon Fiber Arts. I'm a big fan of their yarn. And what's great about knitting is once you know the basics, you can just make everything that you want. So what we're going to do is you always start with your work in your left hand. You take your right hand needle and you're going to put it through the stitch from front to back. You're going to take your yarn and wrap it counterclockwise around your needle. Come underneath, grab the bar, and then slip the old stitch off the needle. So let's do that again. You want to go in from front to back, wrap the yarn counterclockwise, use your needle to pull that bar through, and then slip the old stitch off. Wrap your yarn, bring it through, slip it off. Front to back, wrap the yarn, slip it through, slip it off. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the purling stitch. And what's great is the purl stitch and the knit stitch are the same thing, but they're just the opposite of each other. So if you look at purling from the back, it looks like knitting, and if you look at knitting from the back, it looks like purling. So what you're going to do is, one thing I forgot to mention is when you're knitting, you always want to hold your yarn in the back like this. But when you're purling, you want to hold it in the front. That's something that you should always remember. So we're going to purl now. So what you want to do is you want to put your needle from back to front this time, wrap your yarn around it again, and then pull it through and pull the old stitch off. And it literally is the exact opposite of knitting. So again, from back to front, wrap your yarn, pull it under and off. Back to front, yarn around, under and off. And as you're going along, Like I said, you'll get faster. You'll make mistakes. You'll drop stitches. You'll get frustrated. Sometimes I put my knitting in timeout. All of these things are normal. So what you want to do is just get to the point where you are proficient and you're enjoying what you're doing, and I promise you, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. You can make a lot of really fun things. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something, and if you're interested in learning more about knitting, just let me know. So that's it. That's the end. That's a very simple knitting tutorial. Obviously, there's a lot more left to learn, but really knitting is those two stitches, knitting and purling. And once you have a grasp on that, you can do anything you want. Once again, my name is Alexandra Jameson, and I really appreciate your consideration of my application for Dev Bootcamp. I'm looking forward to hearing from someone hopefully very soon. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.